We are here again with some more Rails of Mourning, our pulp noir Eberron campaign. But first, the little rigmarole. The music you're listening to is by Aaron Kenny, called Black Cat. You can find it over at the YouTube library of royalty-free music. The music and sound effects during the game will be by Sirenscape. The overlay starting soon screen, map, and character stuff were made by me in Incarnate. The amazing character art was made by Nat. You can find him either over on his YouTube channel or in our Discord. Brain stopped. If you want to catch up with the campaigns so far or other stuff we've done, we do have a YouTube channel. And last but not least, thank you, Lillith. Last but not least, if you want to see what you can do to help or hinder the party, you can type in !perks in the chat. Note the last new possible redemption on that list. Alright. And who are our players? Andy, who are you playing?
I have no idea what these allegations mean. I'm going to assume that I'm Andy. At least that's what people tell me. I pay taxes, and today I will be portraying Craren, the illusionist wizard. And if you do keep a goldfish in a dark room, it will eventually turn white. Now, while this is something you cannot unknow, you can also not unknow the fact that mosquitoes have 47 teeth.
All right, trivia session in Eberron. I'm not gonna think about where those teeth are, and we're gonna move on to Lillith.
I think my brain just broke.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out, like, because they had this. Where are the teeth?
Most likely at the end of their, like,
Proboscis.
giving.
I don't know what's
Proboscis.
worse, having
Okay,
cat
going
ears
on with
or
mosquitoes, apparently. Only females drink blood.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lillith, or Lily. I'm playing Flo Bleakwood, the bark of this party, who is also a blood hunter, so technically halfly a mosquito.
Okay, Terris.
Hello, I'm Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Lilith stole my mosquito fact, but I believe if
Only
one
fact I
is
know, Terris.
I believe if one is to eat bananas, mosquitoes are more attracted to them. I am playing Eberron Weaver, the albino drow bard today. Yes.
Psycole.
Hi, I'm Psycole. I am playing Remus Del Dawn, the Kalishtar Barbarian. And just because I went to the Sea Life Centre over the weekend and found out what the oldest goldfish was, the oldest goldfish was called Tish, and she lived for 43 years.
That's
an
old
goldfish.
fish.
That's an achievement.
Yep. Apparently, if fed well, they can live to between 30 and 40 years old. Think of that next time you go
Yes.
from a fairground and flush it down the toilet 5 minutes later.
Poor.
Or you do like my parents and throw them out on the lawn.
Yeah.
When I wasn't home.
Puts it into perspective. We had goldfish when I was a kid, and I think they only lasted for about 2 years.
I think The oldest goldfish I had lived for about 20 years, and then I had to give my tank away because I was moving. Well, not moving, but the tank was moving.
Yeah. The oldest goldfish I had lived for about 2 years. And then he ate too much and died. And by too much, I meant every guppy I had in the tank.
I had a goldfish for a week after my sister decided to pet it outside of the bowl.
Oh, no.
We have a goldfish.
No, my
No idea how old it is.
My baby.
my 20-year-old goldfish was mostly white with red lips, so her name was Apocalypse.
Oh,
Why? Nah,
I'm
save
just
us.
gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Well, I can't quite hear you over the sound of these goldfish talk.
That wasn't the part I needed saving from. It was the bad pun.
What?
Garlic is known to attract leeches.
Yes,
I don't know
I
why
know.
though.
The excretions from your skin attracts them.
Okay. Yes, Nathan. Who are you and you're playing?
Hello, I am Nathan. I play Romulus Zeldon, the Clash of Hexblade Warlock, and I've got a couple of facts for you. First fact is mosquito-based, which is actually quite topical, considering we have a werewolf in our party. Mosquitoes are more active. I can't read. Mosquitoes are more active when the moon is full.
Oh, woo.
A woo indeed.
Oh no.
I mean, a wouch, right? As you slap them, they've bitten you. Sorry.
So, second fact is more
it's
Easter
not like you're
related.
gonna become a rare mosquito.
Or
Mosquito.
is the mosquito going to become a werewolf?
God.
Is this where vampires came from?
Maybe.
No, that's how you get Sturgis.
Oh.
Also,
And
to
Sturgis
stick with the Easter theme, the world's biggest Easter egg was made in 2011 in Italy and was a whopping 10.39 meters in height and weighed 7,200 kilograms.
Random
Uh,
penis fact. A sheep's penis is called a pizzle.
Okay, I get. Okay.
A duck penis is corkscrewed.
Yes.
That's all
Oh,
I know about penis.
the Sea Life Centre at the weekend. The penguins were at it in the enclosure.
Ah!
There was children present.
Oh no!
Oh no.
And while
You
we're
can't
at it,
stop nature.
if you're on the age under 18, get the fuck out.
Yes. This stream is marked mature because we are not.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm a child with a drinking permit.
Yes. We are adults on paper. And hi, I'm Ardana or Joe or Oi, you there, since Lillith is here. I'm the poor sod trying to actually get this thing on the rails.
Considering the name of yeah.
Yes. I'm the
Australia
GM.
is technically wider than the moon.
Don't
That's no
Don't
way to call
worry.
Australia fat.
Yeah, we're not fat.
don't worry, Joe. You can always rail us in.
Did you just put whiskey in that? Joe?
Just give us a signal.
She's done. She's done.
This is what happens when the vast majority of us get some sort of long weekend related a public holiday and lots of chocolate and or alcohol.
Yes. And
Hmm.
so, anyone want to let us actually get into this game and give us a recap of what happened last time?
Where's your facts?
What?
My fact? What?
Yeah, where's your fact? You did not give us knowledge.
I
No,
mean,
because she's trying to
chocolate.
reel us in.
chocolate related, Niederegger in Lübeck is one of the oldest purveyors of marzipan in the world. I've been
Yay.
there. When I was there, they had a marzipan rabbit that was a meter tall.
I would eat that.
They also
I'm glad I wasn't
had.
there. I would have died.
They also have on the second floor when I was there, which was like 20 years ago now, a entire tableau of the founders of Niederegger made out of marzipan, life-size humans.
Delicious.
No. You have any idea how long that marzipan would have been there?
More
We'll
like
still
roasted
eat.
cake.
But yes, not sure if it's fact, it's experience. So, recap.
Recap.
Right. Sorry. Last time we concluded the combat. Well, we'd already concluded the combat, but we resolved the challenges of being in a slightly pocket dimension with no known way out, and half the room currently on fire. To do so, Craren decided that it'd be a brilliant idea to stand in the fountain in the middle of the room, and in the process of doing so, realised that there was some sort of shimmering doors off to either side, for which Craren promptly yeeted his little fey creature through, which unfortunately bounced back after he moved out of the fountain. Oren also decided to use his head and crashed into one of the doors before we realised that basically what we needed to do was apply water to doors for magic to work, which we did. Remus carried Romulus out, who was quite dazed and confused and was not really sure what was going on. And once we got out, we were greeted by Mourning, who Craren continues the negotiation with around making sure that we are not disturbed, and changing the deal that he Mourning had already made with Oren around liberating Oren's pinky in exchange for a potential dragon skull and some other shenanigans that are not being told to us but were communicated via secret messaging between DM and character.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Dun dun dun.
Yes, foreboding music. Anyway. Craren. That feels more like happy Mario music. Anyway. Exactly. Mourning allows us to spend the night. And we go down to the second floor, first floor.
Middle floor.
We went down to the floor, where Oren effectively makes a pillow fort out of various different bits of clothing and pillows that we have lying around.
And jackals. And a baboon.
And jackals, yes. To which we then lay Romulus down. And Oren and Craren decide to take watch as normal. At some point during Craren's watch, hold on. Yes, at some point during Craren's watch, Mourning comes down for an ongoing conversation and basically confirms that whatever it was that Craren has said means that he wasn't actually going to attack us in the middle of the night, which is what he probably had planned in the first place. Oren takes over as usual, and at some point in the morning, during his watch, finds some sort of weird misshapen squirrel rat thing, which he promptly captures and puts into his pocket.
We may need to eat that later.
Why didn't you just throw it at someone? Anyway.
No.
We broke fast and got out of there as quickly as we could. We managed to successfully navigate the forest without any interruptions whatsoever, and then we continued on our journey. We were waiting for Romulus to wake up so that he could communicate with Derek to let him know to kind of take a wide berth of Mordane's Hall. And we estimated it would take about 5 to 7 days to reach our next destination across huge grassy plains. As we are travelling through some of that, we come across some broken down siege equipment and 3 individuals, including the name that we cannot pronounce, and a couple of hobgoblins.
Rakshasa.
Yes. Flo reveals that she can read lips, and as a result of her lip reading, decides to shoot off her crossbow at the Rakshasa thing-ish thing.
Only after they say they would kill Oren.
Yes. Oh, no, I guess because Oren went in for a negotiation anyway.
Yeah, negotiation not going well.
No. We took out the 2 hobgoblins, and Oren decided to renegotiate, or reattempt a negotiation, to get some information from them, which we are informed that the Lords of Dust have decided to have taken an interest in Droaam and want to kill off the daughters of Psycole, and this was in some way a conversation about an advanced planning for that, in which the hobgoblins may or may not be providing some sort of army and or will be attempting to assassinate the daughters at some point. Oren still isn't 100% sure what that all means, but Remus kind of recalls a little bit more about what's going on and decides that it's probably best to keep the daughters on our side. Daughters or sisters?
The daughters of Psycole is the hag coven that rules Droaam.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And we continue the fight and kill off the Rakshasa, with Flo getting in the final blow and unleashing a mighty werewolf howl. And that was where we finished.
All right.
She also was still holding the head in her little push.
No.
All right. With that, if we are
What was this?
okay, for once, why are you loud now, Sirenscape? Can you just be?
I'm always loud.
Yes, but you're also not Sirenscape.
No, but I'm always
We love
loud.
Sirenscape. Here is just that sometimes it doesn't do exactly what I want, and I get upset. All right. Speaking of, there you go.
Yes.
I was just getting started, and Sirenscape was like, meh.
Where'd the sound go?
The side of your head burns, Craren. Your vision swims, and your ear is slightly numb. All of your life, 2 things have been constant in your training. Remember the history of your faction and guide the faction towards the future. The gathering of information, the setting up threads that leads to more connections, all of that follows as consequence. What you currently have here in front of you is a deviation of that cause and effect. The hobgoblin melted away under your touch, turning into a fine mist, a dust, at just simple meeting of your hand and his fur. The gift you are being given seems to prove useful once again, and you can't help but that soft feeling of elation that blooms. The wind feels nice on your face, cool and comforting. Hi, Jason. On the horizon, you can just barely make out the silver-grey outline of the Great Crag as a small speck rising from the plains. The afternoon sun is warm on your face, and there is a subtle scent of grass in the air, mingling with the scent of long rotten wood, tar, metal, and blood. You look around, seeing your friends, well, companions at least. What do you do?
What would Crown do?
Oh.
I mean, I'm confused. I mean, not confused in that sense, but more of a, oh, right. Words. I should use them. In that sense.
Words.
Yes, words. But no. I think Craren is going to sit down on the big wheel next to him and just ponder what is actually going on. It's like, I have an idea, but this wasn't in any book. This is an experience. What's really going on? It's like, I think I have an idea. But at the same time, it's like, who to even ask? Who to even ask? Craren is having a confused moment.
Oh no, but you're the only smart one in the party.
Yes, but it's an experience and things, and murderizing his face meat and stuff is doing things in my head, and this makes no sense. Does word mean things? Who are we to judge?
Are you at this point looking somewhat distressed?
No, more of a confused looking at Oren, just expressing random words and things because confuse is real. And who are we to judge these poor beings? And then consequences and things that go.
I mean, mate, honestly, they were trying to kill us as much as we were trying to kill them. So I think we mostly got out ahead. Are you all right? Do you need a hug?
Yes, I mean, I'm fine, I guess. It's just, how shall I phrase this? I possess the ability to revive people, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That is not necessarily an inherent quality of wizards. I'm a wizard.
Ah. That's more a cleric-y thing, right?
It is. So it's a bit complicated, but it's also related to the fact that for the same reason, innately, I have a number of other things that I can do. Apparently, as you saw, punch the life out of someone, and that does things to me that makes no sense, and it sort of makes my head hurt, and I can't really explain it, but it does. Does this even remotely make sense to you, Oren? Because it doesn't necessarily make sense to me.
I've never had a time where using my powers has made my head hurt or given me an existential crisis, but you're much more brainy than me, so it kind of makes sense that these things might affect you more and differently.
I'm going to assume that it's related. I don't know for a fact, and it's difficult to find someone to ask because it's like that. Being born with things is like, yes, you're not necessarily a large collective group in that sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. Will you be all right?
I'd be fine. It's just a confusing moment because it's like
right.
think I understand what is going on, but also it's like I also don't have any book to read from where to get answers. It's like I'll just enjoy the ride, I guess.
Oren's going to sort of put a hand on your shoulder. Just look. Okay? You've been given this gift.
Yes.
Don't overthink it.
But thinking bits is what I do.
Yeah. But it's part of you, right?
It is.
It's always been part of you.
Yes.
You know, does the bird question its wings?
I hope not.
So why does the you question your unique gifts? I've never once questioned what I am. But then you're a lot smarter than me.
And I appreciate where you're coming from. I do. Maybe it's not worth overcomplicating things just yet.
I mean, like, if you need to talk about it, I'm here. Obviously.
And I'm very grateful for that. And thank you. That's a perspective I didn't know I needed. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
But yes, much like you say, I do analyze things and I do think about things and I do that a lot, and maybe just enjoy the ride and see where this leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help what you are.
That is true. That is true. It's just strange that it happened now. Why haven't it happened before?
You're coming into it now, I guess.
That might be. That might be.
You know, your experiences have led you up to this point, and you're unlocking things about yourself that you didn't have before. It's happening to me too. I guess it happens to everyone as we get older and experience more things.
You're a lot more clever than you give light to.
I'm not book smart, but I have insights sometimes. Sometimes. A little bit.
So even a blind hen will find a seed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting. I like this. I like this side of you, Oren. I need to explore this more with you.
Well, you can explore whatever you want with me. You know that.
I mean, as we have established.
Oh dear. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. Yes, that was
Sorry.
an intentional
Choo
pun.
choo.
Okay, there we go. Flo. Still,
She is still like
yeah.
tearing into this thing. No one cares apparently. She's just like
Uh,
ripping this thing apart.
I mean, if I had seen a raging werewolf tearing into someone, I'd let her do that until she gets that out of her system.
Yeah, I'm not gonna interfere with that. No.
But you notice under your claws as you rip into whatever remains of this Rakshasa that it keeps like fading away into the ground, and eventually you're only left with the armor in the same way that you had in when you were in the village. And it's almost a sense of disappointment where it's completely gone and you're standing there with scale mail, boots, helmet, like the insides of this armor is gone, melted into a tar-like substance in the grass that's just vanished.
So she will basically just drop and she will go on to her all four and she will smell the air to see if there's something else she can kill.
All right. Give me a perception check.
let's see. And I get advantage because
Yes.
it's smell based.
Scent based, yes.
It's a 19.
Yeah. With a 19, you start smelling around, and several different scents come in at once. Mostly it's from your traveling companions, from the mules, from Elam, from the others. There's an odd metallic tang in the air that you're not familiar with. And then you sense the like a scent trail that leads away from this grouping of siege weaponry down further south, and following it just a few steps, you realize that you're catching the scent of these hobgoblins as they were coming from the south of this area. You don't catch the scent of the Rakshasa other than just here.
But there is a trail of something.
There is a trail of like sniffing around. You can't really get the regular hobgoblin anymore because he was kind of turned into dust.
Mm-hmm.
But the captain, you get the same scent leading away from where you're currently at, leading south.
They can base, like, who's close to me? Remus can see that she's basically tracking something. And he can hear the bones kind of like cracking a little bit as she looks more like a wolf than a werewolf. A big wolf. Very big wolf.
Hello? Are you okay?
Let's see. She turns to you like, and kind of like a wild animal, but she kind of like tilts her head a little bit.
Do you have a scent that you wish us to follow?
She tilts her head a little bit to the other way. By the way, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Does she smell anything over here?
That odd metallic scent.
Only the metallic scent.
Yes.
Does she recognize it?
Give me an intelligence check. Just to see that in your current... No, that's a save. But yes, is it the same modifier?
Sorry. It is the same, yeah. I think so.
No, you're...
No, wait. No. Never mind. It's not the same.
Alright. In your current state of mind, you recognize it, but you can't place it. You know this scent, but you can't place it.
She just looks back at Remus, starting to like walk south.
Well, just slow down. Don't forget we need to bring the donkeys, and probably should bring the body with us as well. And I will quickly scurry to pick up the Rakshasa's gear, chuck that into the cart, and and I'll quickly turn to Craren as well, and I'll say, Craren, you know your whole speak with dead thing. Do we
Yeah.
need the whole body or just the head?
Why do you ask?
Well, given the Rikshasha was very kind to tell us that they are plotting to overthrow the daughters of Psycole, and we are currently in Droaam, who are ruled by the daughters of Psycole, it might be useful to have the head as evidence to acquire a boon from said daughters of Psycole, seeing as though that we are already invited. We don't need safe passage, but a boon might be useful. And the head of the Hobgoblin captain, who may or may not have more information, may be handy in the future.
I like how you think. It needs a mouth.
It needs a mouth. Excellent. And he'll take his great axe out and swing it down on its neck so that we can just kind of decapitate it and put the head on the cart.
Ew.
All right.
It's not that bad, Oren. No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm going to have to prestidigitate everyone now. Everyone. Especially Flo. God.
Flo is like, she's like walked away. Quite a good thing. She's like on a mission. She's tracking.
All right.
No, we'd better hurry up. No, we're gonna lose our wolf.
Rewinding a couple of minutes at most. Romulus, having kept track of the mules, making sure they didn't run off, seeing that everything is well in hand, and your own mind still being completely scrambled by not having Lunette in it for the first time in a decade. You find yourself slowly coming back, like things start making sense, the world stop being confusing, and you don't have to fight so hard to not be confused. And you hear the sound ring out as Flo tears into the Rakshasa. And I need you to make me a Constitution save.
This is a great start.
Something in your bones want to respond to that call, but you manage to just not. Manage to keep present, manage to stay with it, so to speak. But you can feel that almost like a sense of having too much energy. In a sense, like wanting to figure out what is happening right now. Your mind is clear almost instantly at that need to respond. And you can see, like, there's a pile of dust that very clearly a few seconds ago was a hobgoblin. There is a pile of goo that a few seconds ago was a Rakshasa, another one. And there's a dead body by Remus's feet. And then things start happening rather quickly, with Craren having to sit down on that discussion. Flo and Remus, Flo taking off to do the tracking, Remus decapitating the captain. And for the first time all day, things start making sense again. But you still have that feeling of needing to move.
Well, for the first time in 10 years, my mind is clear. I've got so much energy.
More energy.
My energy, passion, more passion, more footwork, more footwork. Okay, essentially, having that urge that I need to move, I need to do something, and I see Flo kind of go off and track this scent, I'll probably kind of go and follow along.
All right. Now,
Right. I'll get the mules.
all right. Flo, are you all fours tracking, or are you like walking like in your like a hybrid form, or are you?
No, she's in like full wolf form now, just
Okay.
like tracking.
So Flo is a
So
little.
she just looks like a freaking huge wolf.
Yeah.
Trotting along this human who basically is following her, looking like they're on a walk.
Oh, look, they're on walkies.
Yes, going on walkies. But yeah, you managed to gather up. Like the mules were still attached to the cart. This whole interaction took maybe, with discussion etc., maybe 15 minutes, because people die fast in combat in D&D.
Yes.
The combat itself
You're
was
only distracted by a
maybe
werewolf.
half a minute. Sorry, Psycole.
I said particularly when werewolves shred them apart.
Yes. Also, for the recap, you get 1 inspiration point.
Oh, okay. I need to bounce it because I didn't have to use mine last time. So whoever
Okay.
wishes
Gimme,
to
gimme,
play
gimme,
with
gimme, gimme, gimme.
Flo is overly enthusiastic, so they may have it.
All right.
Win inspiration for the wolf.
Yes.
Which one?
All right. So you find. You manage to. Yes, that is very true, Jason. Combat in real life is also very quick. If it's not, you're doing something wrong. Or it's a siege. Which you really shouldn't be doing. So, you manage to follow the trail for say half an hour, and then it starts petering out, and you remember that it looks like it's been raining. You don't remember. It looks like it's been raining between these, and you see what looks like where the trail starts disappearing into the ground. You see what looks like the flat traces of tents and like a campsite. And at this point, it's very hard to follow just one trail. You see this, like there's scorch marks from a campfire, and the grass has been flattened where tents stood. You didn't see any tents on the hobgoblins that you were meeting, however. So, quick look around, you don't see anything. You can easily draw the conclusion that there were probably more of them, and they have the camping gear. But they're not here right now.
And it would have been almost an hour, right?
Yeah.
So she would basically like go in circles a little bit. And she would start changing back because she can't stay more than an hour.
Yeah.
At a time.
Yeah.
Or depending, I haven't talked to you about that, how long she can stay.
I think it's 1 hour at a time. And we can do something fun with that if you try to push it, because...
Yeah, we talked about it since she was born werewolf. It's that way she was more pure than the others, so she could stay a little bit longer, though it will get a little bit like into the wild animal thingy.
Yeah.
So she would know, like, okay, time's starting to get fuzzy.
Yeah. So yeah, you
So
you
she
would know that
change
you
back.
you can stay in wolf form for an hour without risking losing control. Other than if you take damage, you still have the berserker mode that might trigger,
Mhm.
but you can stay an hour without losing control. After an hour, you still risk going into the berserk mode, even without taking damage.
So she would start changing back. And Romulus is the one closest, I believe.
Yeah.
So you would see that she's like, since it's been almost an hour, it takes a little bit longer for her to change back, so it hurts a little bit. So like you can hear the bones crackling. And she's back to normal, but you can see her like covering herself a little bit because yeah.
Clothing go bye.
Oh, this is awkward. I don't remember coming here.
It looked like you had the scent or something, and I thought I'd follow along to see where you were off to. And you brought us here.
Oh, yes, I believe I did. It looks like campsite.
Appears to be. Seems like whoever was here.
It's good to see you.
Yes.
You look a little bit dizzy after things.
Yeah. I feel a lot better now. Quite a lot of energy. Now actually. Must say thank you though for pulling me away from that fire.
Well, you're welcome. I
really
to
appreciate
be
that.
honest, I was a little bit scared of holy fire, and I didn't know if you still had a
No.
demon in your head. And I know that
Well-
demon and holy flames are not a good thing, and I don't like holy
Thank
flames either because that really hurts.
The fact that you got close to something you really feared to help really means a lot, and I really
Well-
appreciate it.
Well, you all been really nice, and like I told Craren, that we're friends.
We are.
Even
and
though
I
I
can't.
think he didn't like my hug very much. He did hug me a little bit awkwardly. And then Oren joined, and then it got a little bit weirder. But when we hugged, and even you and Romulus and Remus, it was very nice.
I'm glad.
Even though I think Remus also didn't like my hug.
I don't see anything wrong with your hug.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people think it's weird.
There's no problem with weirdness.
But
I've had
again,
like a demon. I had a
like
demon in my head.
helping friends.
It's cool. Helping friends is good. I can confirm as well, for the first time in 10 years, no demon in the head. My sword has been purified. So, don't you dare.
What?
His sword has been purified.
It's been purified.
I didn't clock it until
I
Lillith
walked right-
just vanished.
I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you did. And it was
I did.
hilarious because I was like, no, don't go there. Don't. And I was like, no.
It wasn't on purpose, I swear.
I know, but it's like, for some reason, after Psycole brought up swords and how to swing them and stuff like that in one of our campaigns, I was like, why?
You mean when my Hexblade Warlock was caught stroking his sword because he
Ah,
was emotionally
yeah.
bonded with it?
Yes, I remember that one.
He was stroking
was-
his sword and he was very intimate with his sword, and it was like, after that I have just been brain damaged after like everyone being like, swords in D&D.
I think it's low-key just become an innuendo in itself.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I don't have a demon in my blade. So, no, I don't need to worry about that anymore, but it means I can wield it without fear of losing control. Hopefully.
I'm very glad that you don't have to lose control anymore. It's scary when you lose control. I mean, like, I'm not quite sure how I got here, but since I apparently walked here, I must have been on a mission.
That's what it looks like. Presumably you caught scent of something.
Oh, it was the things, the furry things, and the kitty, there were more here because they didn't have tents. There've been a lot of tents here, and it looks like there's been a lot of people, and there was only 3.
Interesting. Can I look around to see if there are any like tracks or anything that can
Yeah.
might indicate anything?
Give me a survival or perception check.
Survival or
Uh,
perception. They are both the same, so let's go with this one. Okay, no, I have no clue.
no, the mud is too thick and too scattered. Like you see, there are a lot of tracks, but they become jumbled. Seems that a group of individuals has moved across this and just jumbled the tracks.
Tracks seem a bit hard to find.
I think that's why I stopped as well. Not only that I might lose a little more control after an hour, but also because it's really scattered. I think maybe it's been raining, but it's very confusing.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, if there's a lot more of them, it might be worth keeping an eye out, just in case. Might end up running into more of them.
All right.
I mean, I don't mind finding more. I just need a little rest first.
That's understandable.
Also, it's very impressive that you managed to keep up with me. My master sometimes told me I was a little bit fast on the feet.
I had quite a lot of energy. I just felt like I needed to kind of do something, and I thought, oh, you're going over there. I'm quite curious to see what you're up to. I followed along.
Well, it was very nice. I almost like a pack.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
The rest of you would be catching up, unless like those of you who went on the cart would be catching up. If you went by foot, it would be a little bit faster because you don't have to lug around a cart on uneven ground.
Fine.
Yeah. I think I probably would have gone on foot slightly, but I would have still been delayed because I was
Chopping
putting
them.
away the hobgoblin head and
Yeah.
and picking up the Rakshasa gear so that we can sell it on later on.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
you have put that in the cart?
Yes, but
Yep.
yes. So whilst you're sorting the cart and getting it ready to move, I was filling it with additional dead stuff.
Fair.
It's getting very, very crowded in that cart.
Well, I was going to put it inside the door, but that's maybe
We
maybe
haven't had
when we
time for
maybe
that yet.
maybe when we rest later.
And not so crowded with most people walking.
Yeah. Well, all of you would then be catching up at this point at this site, and you can see like from where you're currently standing, you see again rolling hills, but to the very south of you, you can a large green field seem to spread out. Not in the same that like the forest around Mordane's Hall had this kind of orange, purplish, green tint to it that looked a little bit like rot. This, just south of you, is more of a like yellow and reds and oranges of like autumn, sprinkled in with the green, and it's you can't see any details. It's too far away still, but you can see like the shifting of the yellow and browns of the grass turns into greens and oranges further south. And there are some trees sprinkled here and there. You can hear the like slight whistling of wind in trees, but it's very sparse. And like from time to time, the soft clinking of bone chimes can be heard as well, as if someone has hung chimes in the few trees you can see around. And like the whole area has this scent of dirt and rain and grass, which is a bit odd. Like it's a huge change from the frozen lands of the Shadow Marshes to this area where the wind is a lot warmer, and even stepping away from the general area of Craren and his cube of heating doesn't cause like the immediate shiver it did when you were in the Shadow Marshes. Something seems to be keeping this land not warm, but there's barely any snow on the ground. The wind is okay. It's not biting cold. It seems to be like a perpetual, either early spring or late autumn kind of feeling to it.
Okay.
Before the cold digs in or before summer starts. Or spring starts for real. And yeah, you can actually, anyone who wants, could you give me a sight-based perception check? Sight.
I know how to do that.
I like how specific you are with me.
No, sight or hearing. Whichever you
Sight
want.
or hearing?
Or hearing.
I mean,
I'll take
it's still a
hearing.
perception check. So
Yes, it's a perception
That's
check.
an 8.
But I get bonuses on hearing, so
Yes.
Craren is way too preoccupied with his head being wonk.
So,
And I think Aaron is probably preoccupied making sure he's okay by the look of my roll.
Alright. Oren and Craren, you are busy in the cart, leading mules.
That's
doing.
a sentence.
I know. That's why I said it. And the
Not in
cart
public.
being covered and filled with an assortment of stuff at this point.
Rattle, rattle.
Paying attention to anything except keeping the cart upright and the mules going where you want them to, because mules, and making sure Craren is okay. The carts are rocking. Don't come a knocking. You don't
Oh,
really
dear.
notice
We have a
anything
door.
other than the
We
like
do.
soft whistling. You can hear the bone chimes. You can, but that's really about it. Romulus, you take in what's directly around you. The scent of mud is kind of strong after having moved around a bit. Yes, as Elam brays behind the card.
Yeehaw.
Remus and Flo, on the other hand, you take in the landscape, and on far off in the sky, Remus, you see this group of circling things. At first, they look like maybe vultures or some big kind of bird. And then one of them dive back and forth. It's a little bit hard to identify. And then Flo, you hear screeching. Very faint. I'm not going to do that because my microphone's not going to pick it up. But like a call, a screeching call of something. And an answer. And at the same time, because you rolled the same thing, Remus and Flo, you realize that you're looking at a flight of harpies in the distance. And Flo, you can hear their calling back and forth. And Remus, you notice maybe a group of maybe 12, 15 individuals in the air.
They don't seem very happy.
What does Remus recall of harpies, and what they may be like in Droaam?
Say either a straight wisdom or a history check. Straight wisdom or history check. All right. From what you know of the harpies that live in Droaam, most of them are divided into clans known as flights. And mostly they live in mountainous areas. They want to be high up because of their flight. And most of them in Droaam have sworn allegiance to the daughters of Psycole. They are basically the air infantry.
Okay.
And there are some that don't want anything to do with anything that has human politics or, humanoid politics, and just stay out of it completely. With a 17, I'd also say you remember that there are, because you heard us talk about when you were still in the blade marks, that those silly mark of finding shadow Marsh's people hired harpies into their mercenary corps, and that was generally seen as a really bad idea. Hasn't really come to anything bad, as far as you know, for House Tharask, but House Tharask employ harpies.
They're on their payroll.
Yeah, they're on the payroll.
Yes, so as Flo turns the point, says that. Sorry, Flo. What was it you said again?
I said they don't seem very happy.
Well, no, and we could probably go in and continue to go and investigate and see what they're doing. From what I remember, they're normally used as a aerial infantry force for the daughters of Psycole. So whatever they're fighting or whatever they're harassing, is probably something that is worth looking at. And given what the hobgoblins were talking about earlier on, and the fact that we've just passed through this camp and there seems to be a lot more of them, but not here. Maybe we can lend a hand.
So we're lending a hand to the harpies.
Yes, that's probably advisable given where we are, and
Um,
the fact that Oren arrived with at least one of the daughters.
Is it okay that I rest a bit in the car? I'm a little bit tired after changing.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea. I need to tend to a few wounds myself.
Just as a reminder, you ran into the hobgoblins and the Rakshasa in the early afternoon.
Okay,
you had
so this
already,
is the-
yeah, you had been traveling from the forest for 4 or 5 hours by the time you met this group.
Oh, okay. So this is a, if we push on, we probably won't get there until nightfall kind of thing.
Yeah, like you can see the outline, and you can barely, after Flo pointed out, you can barely hear the calling. Like back and forth, this screeching calling sound. And you can just about see outlines. So if you walk straight towards where they are right now, maybe half an hour you'd be there, but you don't know if they're gonna be there still, or you can't really see what the terrain is like because of how the hills move, and but maybe half an hour to an hour to get there, and then it's gonna be mid to late afternoon.
I think we should still push on then, just to see what they were attacking. Even if it is, I mean, we can stop and rest, or we can push on. And what's everyone's thoughts?
I go where you guys point me.
I
If you
will help lick your wounds.
How hurt are you?
On a scale of 1 to 64, 17.
I think it might be a good idea to let Flo and
Hi.
Remus rest.
Okay.
Take another 7 healing. It's not much. I rolled pretty shit, but take another 7 healing.
Oh, don't do that.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Look, let's pause here and catch our breath, and we'll just monitor what's going on in the distance. And
Let's do that.
if it moves towards us, we
Actually-
can help.
No, what I will do though is I'll cast a 2nd level aid, giving the twins and our resident wolflet 5 temp hit points. Or 5 max hit points, I guess that would be.
There we go. Hi, Cat. I know. I was wondering why my scenes didn't work, and then I realized it had logged me out and had me rejoin as a player.
Oh, also Sen has graciously given Flo a hero point.
Ooh, nice. Okay, let's add a hero point.
Thank you, San.
No, I don't.
Now I can do even more stupid shit.
There we go. Thank you. All right. I'm quickly going to go feed His Highness before he tries to eat my computer mouse. But he's been hitting my hand with his head for a while now, and it's getting a little bit annoying.
Mother, I'm starving.
Yes.
Indeed.
But yes, I shall be right back.
All night long.
Moisturize me.
Moisturize me.
That scene.
I know. Oh, it takes me back.
So we're taking a long or a short rest right now.
Probably a short rest.
Okay.
That's all.
It's only like mid to late afternoon, so I'd say we take a
yes.
short rest and
Yeah,
We
long rest
see-
would, leave us getting up doing things in the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere. So, while we could do that, it might not be a wise thing.
yes,
Fair,
and
fair.
we can always kind of move on to wherever this combat was, see what was going on, and then move off to one side and camp for the night.
Yes.
In the meantime,
Definitely.
Oren,
Yes.
is there anything you could do to this head to make sure it doesn't bleed and rot everywhere?
I can prestidigitate it so it stays quite cold. And that would need to be upped every hour.
Maybe we should just take the time to store it inside the door.
Well, that won't stop it from rotting.
And makes it decay quicker.
Yeah, but if it decays quicker and then then it might just run its way through and we can then just have the skull left over.
That is also true.
Alternatively, we boil it.
Let's not then say we did.
All
You
right.
can also put it in salt.
It's more of a, if we want things to talk, however you want to treat it, the mouth needs to be intact.
Okay.
I mean, does it need to be a mouth, or can it be
Yes.
like a jaw? Like a head with jaw attached but no skin.
Also known as a skull.
Yeah, a skull.
I
That's the
mean,
thing.
yes.
Thank you.
The unskinned bone bits, yes, that one.
Yeah, that.
I mean, we have talked to skulls before,
Yes.
so I don't
Yes.
see how that would be a problem. But at the same time, if we're
So-
going to bring this as a boon, it might help if it actually resembles what we claim it does.
I got
Okay,
a
fine.
query.
Hold on.
There was mention of. Sorry.
No, I just remembered something. I'm gonna send you, Andy, a thing.
I'm terribly sorry, but
Uh-oh, Andy's in trouble.
yes,
Once it's not me.
that is true. But also, that's on the other hand.
One of the few times that bloody spell is gonna be useful.
Yes, that is something that came to me because I was reading the description. Craren also possessed the ability of gentle repose, which is a strange quinkydink in relation to the fact that it's already beheaded. But as written, a corpse or other remains.
It don't rot.
Yes. It's really meant to protect the item, person, the X creature from turning undead. But I'm also going to suggest that we're not going to have a Murray the Talking Skull.
I mean,
But
technically,
it will also not decay, so
yes.
and it lasts for 10 days.
Can you re-up it after 10 days?
I can technically re-up it 3 more times today.
Yeah.
The important part is that these copper coins, and it just squishes it onto, with a squishy sound of, needs to remain on these eyes. Okay?
Right.
Do we need to like sew them on, or do we need like a really tight cloth around his eyes?
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
Nope.
what?
Like
No.
you put coins on the dice. Is that what you?
Yes.
And they need to stay on.
Yes.
How do you get them to stay on?
You,
Remus borrows
normally,
Oren's knitting needles.
No,
In and out. In
the-
and out.
Romulus. Normally, how this works. Normally, how this works. I punch Oren in the face until he stops breathing.
I'd rather you not. but
Hear
all right.
me out, Oren. Hear me out, Oren. This is to make a case. I'm not going to do things, okay?
Right.
Let's assume, for a second, that Oren falls dead. You
Oren
with
is
me
going
so
to
far?
Yes.
mimic
Romulus.
falling dead.
Yes, I
Mhm.
am.
Now we have a corpse.
Mm.
Corpses have this interesting tendency to not move.
What?
Twitch,
Uh-huh.
twitch, twitch.
So when you do put your copper coins onto this corpse, it will remain there, and then you can find a cleric meanwhile and come back to the person. We're making this more difficult by beheading the person first and then bringing the head with us. So normal circumstances doesn't quite apply.
Huh.
Right. 1 minute. 1 minute. He says, sitting back up after having pretended to be dead for a minute.
Welcome back, Oren.
Looking around. Looking around. What kind of trees are these? It's important.
All right.
I'm you wondering if they have sticky sap?
Yeah.
Well, the closest trees to you look like some form of leafy trees that don't really have leaves anymore. I'm trying to remember what trees that have leaves are called. I know.
Deciduous?
Yes, thank you. Deciduous trees. It's kind of hard, a little bit hard to tell what type, but you guess maybe some form of birch trees.
In the event
don't
that
know if
that
fucking-
doesn't work,
Terris does not know a fucking thing about birch trees. Do they have sticky sap?
No, they really
They do not, but they have very pliable bark.
however, we also have other things on this, head. An excess amount of blood, and blood turns really sticky when it dries.
Right. So, what if? And he's going to take a thin scarf that he's made out of his bag. We wrap this tight around his head, and then we use the blood to dry it on.
That seems excellent because I can only think of so many other sticky things we could use, and
No.
Karen doesn't swing that way.
I would rather not.
I'm not going to say it.
You also have oats. You could have just made some form of gruel and made that sticky, but no.
Spice pouch. I'm sure I could have gotten like honey or some kind of flavoring resin out of there as well.
But yeah, it will
But
work.
anyway, blood works.
No, I'm just saying I don't swing that way, so let's not go down that route. And we do have an excess amount of blood. Let's do what you said, Oren, and then
Yes. With the copper coins now attached to the head via fabric
Welch.
and squelching, you have managed to get yourselves a short rest with no problems.
Yay.
And are ready to putter on.
Onward.
to glory.
Yeah.
Did you boys and Flo, so Romulus, Remus, and Flo, take your 5 extra maximum hit points, by the way?
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
Excellent.
And I have just rolled astonishingly well on
Very nice.
HP replacement for short rest.
Oh yeah. That's nice.
I
Those-
hope I haven't used all of it up, and all of the roll 20 luck up, and now Flo's going to get like ones.
I wasn't injured somehow.
For once,
Is
Oren,
it
you
like-
stayed back.
I mean, at the same time, let's also not forget, he has boons now. He has means of not being damaged.
Hmm.
He
How
has
does
what
that
now?
feel?
Much better.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a cloak displacement.
Oh, boons. I thought you said boobs, and I was sitting there thinking, what?
Boots?
It's like,
Yeah,
he
Oren
has
gets boobs.
magically grown memories.
Yeah, he starts padding his shirt with the yarn bolts. Which, I mean, technically he would probably have been doing as Nana knits anyway.
Yes. Flo, or rather player, Lillith,
Hmm.
have you encountered so far Nana knits?
No.
Okay.
No, we have not been into a populated area yet.
And that is entirely fair. So that's a surprise that may or may not happen further down the line, that may or may not confuse Flo something fiercely.
I just whispered to Flo, Nana Knits is Orum's alter ego. They have this thing that they like to do in more
Oh.
crowded areas. You'll see soon enough. Just be prepared.
I just found.
I'm just going to, considering Craren obviously doesn't hear that, but I so badly want to interject about no, not cross-dressing.
Not cross-dressing.
Oh dear.
Even though that's perfectly fine. It is.
It would be perfectly fine in a dress.
All right.
I'm pretty boy.
So, having had a
can-
short
Yeah,
rest,
no,
you proceed towards where you saw the flight of, or the group of harpies. And as you get closer to, you can still see, like, you travel for roughly an hour, you can still see the harpies circling above. You can hear screeching. And calls back and forth, and then you get closer. You see this hill where it looks like an old ruined watchtower is sitting on. Where are you? Let me move you to the map. And you can still see about 10 harpies in flight, and a small group of them have landed on top of the ruins of this watchtower. And I just found the most horrifying harpies I've ever seen. It was.
Worse than the one from the last unicorn?
I have not seen the last unicorn.
You blasphemy.
holy cow.
You need to do that.
But I'm gonna try
boy.
and show you an image.
That's horrific.
Those are some ugly chickens.
Look at all them chickens.
Yeah, right, done. If I can get that to work.
Chicken.
I would say the last unicorn one is prettier than these.
Where did you put it? I do not see.
It's in Rails chatter.
Oh,
But you see this. Where did we go?
yeah.
Even Terris doesn't like them.
Yeah, you can see clear, like above you. You hear the flapping of big wings as they move back and forth. And on the ground around the watchtower, you see what looks like a huge collection of feathers. But you also see broken harpy bodies lying in a heap. Like, in heaps. Here and there along the ground up at the bottom of this watchtower. And you also see brain.
We see brain.
My brain just shorted out and I don't know why. But no, along the ground you see broken harpy bodies. And you can you hear like arguments. You can't really hear, or you can't really make out what is being said, but you can hear arguing back and forth. And you hear voices. There are definitely not harpies. Sounds like very human. And my Roll20 has decided to not work right now because the tokens I had placed just didn't want to work. But yeah, you can hear you hear voices that are not harpy. They sound human. 2 males, or humanoid, but 2 males, 2 females.
Well, what do you think?
Place 1 there.
Lauren, are you gonna negotiate again?
I could try.
Stay close then.
Yeah, let's
And-
stick together, shall we?
And Flo takes her crossbow out just as Orin says, like he's gonna
Sorry, I've
negotiate, being
bit of a
like,
cough.
"What? We done this before."
Would he be within earshot where he is right now?
Yes. So as you get up, you can't, like, the hill is a little bit steep. So either you have to walk carefully up, or you can move quickly on all 4s.
Yeah, he'll do the all fours thing. He's not
Not fussed.
particularly fussed about that. But yeah, he'll just be hello?
Does Craren see the stairs?
You have to walk around a little bit to see stairs.
Dang it. Because not only is Craren is also lazy. It's like I'm going to imagine about halfway up, Craren is going to see the stairs,
Oh no.
cursing loudly.
You all
God
right?
damn it! Yes, I'm fine. This is. There's stairs over there. We could have walked up.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Hello, harpies, non-harpies.
Hello!
Hi.
This harpy is gonna fly up and land in this tree to look at you. Just interloper.
No. We were a bit a ways, and we saw that you guys were in some trouble, so we came to see if you needed aid.
Ah, friends. No, we have it in
Yeah,
hand.
friend. So what's going on?
police Oh. Official business. And she trails off as she sees Flo come up the hillside and just, oh. Official. Merchants harassed by unaligned flight. We dealt with it.
Oh. All right. Is anyone particularly hurt?
They, and she lifts a talon, points to a heap of feathers next to your foot, Oren.
I mean, of your flight.
Nah, we're fine.
Should warn you.
Hmm.
There's been some, some Rakshasa and Hobgoblin activity in this area.
Rakshasa? That's strange. Why would... That's strange.
We may have some information for... It's the sisters or the daughters?
The daughters of Soraka.
The daughters of... Yeah, that.
But they...
It's pretty important, actually. And of a time-sensitive nature.
Give me a persuasion or deception check as you see this harpy. She's moving back and forth. You can see that her arm is a little bit, or wing is a little bit lopsided, and she seems to be favoring one foot. But
though I'm actually telling the truth here, I am still going to roll deception.
Okay.
Because I'm better at it.
Well, you said it was time sensitive, so you can roll with that bit. But yes.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Okay. She hops closer to you and cranes her neck a little bit to look at you, and then look into Remus and Romulus and Craren and to Flo. And she lingers a little bit on Flo, and then back to Yoren. And she hops down. And
can Flo just like when the thing the harpy looks at her, she kind of like hides a little bit.
All right,
behind Romulus, being like,
they're a little bit scary.
You can stay behind me if you need to.
And you hear that screechy sound again, as two different harpies are talking back and forth. And then the one you were talking to comes back, flies up to the tree again, and looks at you, Oren. And just... You can take message. Or you can help with a thing. Or both.
What do you guys think? Should we help them out and then go give this information?
I mean, I'd rather not make them angry.
Yeah.
We are kind of outnumbered.
Barely. But no,
And I
I don't
fly.
think. Well, neither can I. But I don't think there's any reason to become hostile here. They're not hostile to us, so.
And if they can deliver the message.
Yeah, so we can help them out and then get this message sent and see if they'll see us.
Yeah. Watching you, I'm assuming you don't talk loudly, but watching you, the harpy is going to fly down to here, roughly, and take a couple of steps closer to Remus. Not in a hostile way, just look up at the whole group and just, you did not hear this from me. Sora Maenia is in Thrakelorn. We lost someone. Well, he's missing.
Oh.
If you...
Who is missing?
And she has you can clear like she's shuffling, hesitating a bit, and trying, like very clearly trying to make up her mind, like to trust you or not. One of the commanders has gone missing. We have not heard from him in a while.
Is he a harpy?
No.
Does he have a name? And she kind of peeks out and then backs again.
Oh. Brain. Yes. Commander of the Fala Durinfleal. It's not...
I'm not even going to attempt to put that into my notes. Could you?
Huh.
Hmm.
That thing.
What's... how to word this? What's he look like?
Varies.
Is he a changeling?
No, he is what do you call blood hunter.
And you can
Alright.
see she looks out being like,
A blood hunter?
Elf, blonde, tall. Or
and
raven.
You can see her ears going all the way down, and you can see the horror in her face.
I whisper, do you know who? Is this someone you know?
It's my teacher.
Oh.
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 I didn't know he'd become a commander since I left.
Well,
Then we should definitely try and find him.
Agreed.
commander's not exactly right word, but as close as I can think of. He leads the Were-Ravens.
Do you know where they last were?
I do not, but... And she lifts a talon, points back. The merchants, they fled from where he was held.
Do you mind if we ask them some questions?
I do not... No, don't mind. Don't mind. No.
Alright.
Merchants trade with daughters. And they saw someone that matched the description in where they were being held before they managed to flee.
Makes sense. Alright.
If you help with this, we can take your message to Sora Maenia.
Sort of squints a little, kind of trying to figure out how to say this. Just, Our message is currently a disembodied head.
Is this, what do you say, a joke?
Nah. See, and I think he would explain without telling them the plot yet
Ah, yeah.
to, overthrow, about the altercation they had and how some very sensitive information came to light from that. So we brought the guy's head so we can speak with Dead in front of one of the daughters, sisters, whatever. Yes, one of the daughters.
Yes. Sorry.
She will take a piece of her clothing that still has like the goo of the Rakshasa, rip it off, and like walk up very, very like scarce.
Yep.
And just hand it over to.
Yeah.
She's like,
if this will help, it is the blood of the cat thingy.
She's gonna grab it so she has 2 powerful legs with like huge talons on it, and then 2 arms that end in what looks like claws, in addition to the large vulture-like wings, and she's gonna grab the piece with her claws, bring it close, sniff it for like, pull back, just
Yeah, careful with that. It's Rakshasa goo.
right. It smells foul. Yes.
It didn't taste good either.
Yeah.
Not food.
No. I kind of bit into him.
Oh. She's gonna look you over a little bit.
Yeah. She's a biter.
I figured.
Hi.
You wear the colors. We'll report to Soramainya this evening.
Understood?
She puts the piece away in a small pouch that she has like hanging like a what's it called? Bandolier? Yeah. And she puts it away, and then it's gonna hop up on top of this branch. You are free to stay here, not our tower. Or move.
Understood.
Flying over here, you see this like collection of tents in this area of ruins, but none of them seem to have been used, and the fire, like the campfire, you can see a faint light of it, seems to be burning low. And then the harpy you've been talking to, oh, I do apologize. There it is. I am Iresh of Brass Talons.
I'm Oren. These two are Romulus and Remus. The lady is Flo, and the handsome elven gentleman is Claren.
Pleasure. If you need help and we are around, use my name and I shall try.
Understood.
And she soars back on top of the tent. You see it like shift a little bit. You hear the creaking of wood, and she is gonna look down to this group of humanoids sitting by the tents. Just, we will leave. This group have questions. Feel free to leave as you wish. Hearing you, she looks over at you, Oren. Yes.
Yeah, hi.
Um,
So where you merchants? Saw tall elven fellow, blonde hair, long.
one of
In the place
the
she fled from?
so the group of merchants consists of 2 women and 2 men. The women and one of the men are all what looks like humans, and the other man is a half elf, and all of them have. It looks like expensive clothing that have been through a tumble dryer filled with rocks.
Hmm.
Is that something I can mend for them?
Possibly. It might take a while. Mostly it looks like just dirt and grime and have been lived in for a while. In rough conditions. They don't look like they've been damaged or harmed in any way. They just look like they've been a bit rough and tumble, so to speak. As you approach, you hear a screech ring out, and the 5 harpies that are on the ground take off and join the other 10 that are currently circling above you.
That was certainly a noise. So, and probably you would know by now, when he's talking, he sort of keeps his hands busy, and that often equates to either knitting or crochet or prestidigitation or mending, just whatever needs to be done around the campfire when he's not like meditating or actively keeping watch. So while he's talking to these guys, I think he's just sort of absent-mindedly running a prestidigitation over their clothes without even thinking about it, because he's so used to doing it to the others in the party now. It's just so yeah, you fled from a pretty nasty situation, we hear. But there was an elven gentleman there, blonde hair, tall. He is a friend of one of our companions, so any information you could give would be really helpful.
The older of the 2 women step forward, and she's a little bit shorter than you, Oren. Straight black hair with a bit of grey in it. She steps up to you and just, yes. Well, we were on the road and we were taken. Our whole group. It was us and 2 others from our group. Bandits took our cart and took one look at our clothing and said something about a ransom, and we were hauled off to these caves about, let's say, half a day from here. We've been running for a long time. It's kind of it's hard to know exactly. But we were held there for a while, and while we were there, a couple of the bandits dragged this large gentleman in. I'd say about a little taller than you, dear.
That's not odd.
But maybe twice as wide.
Oh.
So big man.
Yeah.
They had done a number on him, so he wasn't conscious. But like blonde beard, blonde braids, black clothing.
Did they, by any chance, say what they wanted to do with him?
It was hard to understand, but I think they were trying to do the same as they did with us. but I'm
Right.
not sure holding. I don't really know who. They said he was someone of importance. They were gonna try hold him for ransom.
Yeah.
But-
Okay.
Ransom never ends well for the people kidnapping people. We were actually running. We were trying to get the Thrakelorn to try and hire people to free our friends.
Right. Well. Flo. He is your
Yeah.
master. It's your call.
I really. He's not my master. He's my teacher. He's the one who taught me how to. And she looks at the people.
Yeah. Sorry, the
Yeah.
words are interchangeable where I'm from.
He's the one who taught me things. How to behave.
How to fight.
How to control. He's kind of like a dad. I don't know how that is, but he's kind of like one, and I would really much like to see him again.
I suppose that's
Then-
our answer.
Yep. Then,
I-
Flo,
I-
we're 100% behind you. If you think we should go get him and help these people's friends too in the process, then that's what we'll do.
Hey, and you can see her ears going all the way down, her tail between her legs, just like watery eyed, looking at everyone. I would really much
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, your family is our family.
I pet her head. It's going to be okay. We'll find him.
Yeah, we'll find him.
And she kind of like leans. Romulus being like, okay.
He'll be okay. We'll get there.
We set up the tents. You're free to stay
Yep.
here if you want.
That would be helpful. We'll probably head out first lightish, I guess. You said it's about a half day?
Yeah, about half day from here. Yes. I don't really know. I've never been the best at finding my way, and we were running, so we wouldn't get caught again. So might be longer, might be
Alright.
shorter.
Do you know which direction?
Roughly. Then she looks up a bit, trying to. That way, and she's gonna point. She points to roughly like southeast, and following where she points, you see what looks like a grayish purplish outline of a little taller hill than the rest of the area. It has a bunch of trees over on top of it and around it as well.
All right.
I can try and catch and she whispers to Oren. I can try and catch their scent.
That would be bloody helpful, actually.
So if you guys go and get the mules, I can try and
Yeah.
ask them stuff and smell so it doesn't look like too weird.
All right. Yeah. Let me check something. Yeah, okay. So Orange just, all right, I'll go try and find us a meal. And, yeah, would you like to accompany me, Flo? Pointedly.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, to, allow you to track while he, viciously mocks a deer to death or something. Stupid antler head.
All right.
Oh dear.
What are the Craren and Remus? What are you doing?
Well, I would have just been bodyguarding Oren the entire time, so he would have gone back to his silent walking around with his shield and warhammer held ready. But as Oren and Flo move off, he'll start. He'll go back and he'll start kind of like unloading his weapons to one side, and probably try to strike up small talk with the merchants.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
They
seem
probably look cleaner and slightly more patched than they were before.
They seem happy to engage in conversation with Remus, even though maybe a little wary. By the guy wielding a giant hammer.
Well, it's probably also like Remus is getting into the habit of doing this, where he just kind of turns up for the night and just like, there's the hammer, there's the axe, there's these axes,
Yeah.
there's it's just like one of those scenes where he just pulls out weapons from various different locations on his body and then just sits down and
There's a
calms.
dagger
Yeah.
in the boot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
daggers in the boot. Like if he had long hair, he would almost certainly have like needle pin things holding them up, kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like just like have a bun and then drag it out, have like loose long hair and be like, yes, those things.
Like a dagger clenched between the butt cheeks.
Yep.
Don't sit down too
Uncomfortable.
hastily.
Owie.
and yeah,
That's why he's always to the point.
The group of merchants is just a little bit wary, but they don't seem to want to run off, at least.
I mean, he's our clanky boy. We like him. He clanks.
Clank clunk.
Yes. Well, if you're gonna break out our friends, all that weaponry will come in handy. There were a lot of people in that cave.
Well, whilst you're on the topic, what else did you see there? How many of them were there? How well equipped were they? And you can kind of see him like sit upright and start to get very to the point of like, I want as much intel as you can give me. How many of them were there?
we
How well
excited?
equipped were there? Yes. He's like,
Mm.
How many heads can I bash in?
yes.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. My name is Aldin. That lady over there is Kira. And that's points to the human of the man. That's Dermot, and the other one is Elial. We work for Merchants Guild. I'm pretty sure you probably wouldn't have heard of it. Not because you're uncultured or anything, but we work with inns and taverns and hospitals. We sell linen.
I mean, someone has to.
Yes. I'm sorry, you asked the question. I was just fascinated by the amount of weaponry you're carrying. From what we could make out, there are a lot of people in there. Maybe 20 total bandits. They have dogs, but 4 or 5. And always someone awake, seems like it. We managed to, I don't know how we got out, really. We tried to get the other 2 as well, but they didn't want to risk it. They were understandably afraid.
Who did you leave behind?
We left behind. Wrong one. We left 2 young, one young kid, or young, well, not kid. He's in early 20s, named Tomlin, and a little bit older man, maybe early 30s, named Alan. They carry stuff for us. We hired them to be hired hands, so to speak. But they didn't want to risk running off and risk getting killed, and again, very understandable.
Yes, maybe. And you said there was about 20 or so bandits there of some description or other. Did you see how well they were armed? And
Well, the ones that were guarding us, they had smaller crossbows and daggers, long daggers.
Okay.
But we didn't really see all of them. I didn't really see or hear much. We could hear a lot of people talking.
And these caves, were they relatively easy to see once you got outside, or were they well hidden?
It's very easy to see. They try to hide it, but it's a big cave opening. There's a small creek running out of it as well. So there's a water flow, and from what I could tell, couldn't really see in the dark. The caves continue further in from where we were staying. So.
And did they say anything when they carried in this fellow you say matches the description of the person we're looking to help?
Yes. Well, they were joking back and forth and said something about this one will be worth a lot. So I don't see how smart it is to nab one of the commanders and hope to get out alive, but that's not my problem. We were just going to Drakelorn to try and find someone that could help us break our friends out.
Where were you traveling from? And to?
Oh.
With your limb?
This is the DM checking what the damn place is called. Oh, we were coming up from Greywall originally, and then we decided to not go to Great Crag right now. Things are a little bit tense. Don't know really what happened, but we were advised to go around and head straight for Drakelorn. We were heading from Drakelorn as to how do you pronounce that? It's called Kashakdral, I think. What are they calling the capital of the Lady of Stone, I think.
Do I recognize that? I'm looking at the map. I'm trying to work it out.
Let's see. Is it the Queen of Stone or the Lady of Stone? Brain? The Queen of Stone. Yes. The Queen of Stone is a Medusa. And most of the people living in Casadral are Medusas.
Oh, okay, up there. Right, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we were heading from Thrakelord to Casadral. Well, it didn't end well.
And you skipped the Black Crag for
Well,
reasons that you are.
well,
What
the-
was the reason why you skipped the Black Crag?
well, we were advised not to go in there because some form of conflict between the person who made our order for this trip and the people running the inns in the Great Crag.
Who placed the order?
I'm not sure I can tell you that.
But it's not like you've got any of your equipment with you, or
That's true. I'm as well-traveled individuals as you are. I'm sure you know about House Galanda and their inns.
Mhm.
Our employer is looking to start an inn in Casadral that is not affiliated with the Mark of Hospitality. While it's not illegal to do that, and it's not against any form of rules, it will be a hard uphill battle, but they had the money to order the bed linen and towels and all of that to start it. Now, of course, their entire shipment is lost to bandits.
And who did you say was that placed the order?
I didn't, you're right. Well, his name is Hans. He's an half-elf who wants to start a tavern or an inn or similar. Somehow he's got a permission from the Queen of Stone to be there and not turn into a statue. As far as I know. That's all I really needed to know. Hans Rennen.
Why does that name seem familiar? Is that the one that owes the person?
No, it's but it's very similar to that.
Okay. And he kind of just sits back and he feels like he's questioned them enough.
All right, Romulus. Anyone else? All right. Well, the merchants have invited you to share their fire, their tents. Well, I say share their tents. They can barely fit in the tents themselves, and but they have offered up to let you take the tents instead of them.
We have tents of our own. I'm sure we can all manage to have some shelter.
And I mean, if we bring the cart down here with the mules, some of us can like most of us, can sleep in the cart.
That's true.
And I can take a watch. I don't really feel that tired. And I do have good hearing.
Hmm.
If that's okay.
I mean, I'm fine with whatever.
You'll hear no objection from us. And the half-elf man just, nope. It's fine by me.
I've had a thought, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not about this. I mean, about the bandits. If I were to get my hand on some poisonous mushrooms, I could probably trick them into stealing a poisoned stew.
Possible.
Little old lady all on her own. Has a nice bubbling pot near their encampment where they can smell it. Goes off to check her stairs and comes back and her stew pot's gone.
It's an idea. If you think you can pull it off.
Do you think I could pull it off?
I would say so.
No, yeah, but most definitely, it's more of a. It's less of a can you do the thing and more of a method
long
of
as I
delivery.
So long as I can find the mushrooms, I am actually a bit of an expert poisoner. I didn't say that out loud.
Naturally,
Yeah,
you didn't.
Winks at the merchants.
The human man, Dermot, just... Oh, you didn't hear anything. There's something stuck in my ear.
Excellent. 1 minute then. And he's now where he's nowhere near the bandits who have not seen him. Going to take about 15 minutes to get into his Nana Knits persona. Sort of slips into one of the tents, comes out old and frail and a lady. Just, all right, dearies. I guess it's time for Nana to make dinner.
That can be like such a
Flo
mental
will
thing.
hide behind twins. Oh wait, I thought that was wrong. And okay, so who was closest? Okay, so basically the closest one was actually this twin. So she would basically just hide behind him and be like, and she will smell. Does she realize it's him?
He's wearing an old lady's perfume, so that is up to you.
I'd say I'd say she's not that dumb.
Okay.
She has object permanence.
What's the matter, dearie?
Is that you being generous, or?
An 8 intelligence is not dumb enough to not have object permanence.
I wasn't suggesting.
I mean, cats have object permanence, and they have a 3 intelligence.
I'm not so sure about Callie.
I've never seen that before.
No, that's just one of Oren's personas that he likes to put on and freak people out with whenever we may or may not encounter large volumes of people.
Now, dear.
You remind me of one of the older werecrows.
Oh, is that so, dear?
Yes, she also likes knitting and stuff.
Oh, I love to knit. And to
Turns out
cook.
Nana Knits is a real person.
Yes.
Except instead of an albino drow, it's a werecrow.
her nose is even a little bit like pointy. Some people even thought she was a witch where she came from.
What's her name, dear?
We just called her Old Allie.
Old Allie.
Yes.
Not Granny Stabs.
No. Though she was quite famous in her older or younger years. She was one of the ones that made most of the were-ravens.
Oh.
And she was really nice. She was really into shiny things, though.
And I also like shiny things. Who doesn't? What lady doesn't like shiny things?
I mean, if you had something shiny, it wouldn't be yours for long.
Oh. Sticky beak.
I would. She kind of laughs a little bit. Yes. But she's really nice.
Yes.
And you remind me of her, so.
Oh, well.
Make me kind of. And you see your ear droop a little bit. Make me kind of miss home.
Oh. Nana, is going to come over here and just wrap an arm around her and give her a little pat. It's okay, dear. We all miss home from time to time.
Yeah,
What is this home you keep talking about?
Crowren, if you don't understand, I feel very sorry for you.
Maybe one day.
I've heard it say that home is the place that when you go there, they have to take you back in, dear.
My master used to say, home is where you feel safe.
That's a good definition.
Or as Old Allie used to say, where all her shinies is.
That's also a good definition.
Craren is just dryly going to mutter to him, just, mostly to himself, but that's a short list.
Home is many things to many people, yes.
That's
myself.
Fair.
I am yet to find mine, but these old bones will one day, I'm sure.
Naturally, at one point.
I now have a cat in my lap. Great.
All right. So, Flo said she wanted to be on watch. Who else is going to be watching?
Is Flo going to be on watch, as in not going to use any long rest at all, or?
She is gonna have a long rest, but she asked if she could take the first watch just to be like awake, and she kind of like told Oren that she was gonna like try and track a little bit, so that means she needs people to be asleep so she can smell the people to like find out where they came from, to see if they actually like told the truth. Did they come from that direction? So she needs to be a little more like stealth, so that's why she was like, I can take the first watch so she can smell like the new people to see where is this going? Are they telling the truth? Does she smell like her master on them? Because they did say they saw him. That means some of the smell must be lingering. So she basically is like, can I have first watch so I can actually make sure?
Would Craren understand her intentions?
I mean, she did talk to Oren.
No, what I'm sort
No, I'm
of
trying to-
getting at is more of a, if in the event that Craren does not understand her intentions, he would insist on keeping her company because elves only need 4 hours of rest.
I mean,
And
even
I
if
think he
you-
will understand that. It's more of a, I also don't want Craren to be a hindrance because obvious reasons, but it's also at the same time, I'm not sure Craren understands. So what do I even roll for that?
give me. Would that even make sense?
Do I even roll for that? Will Flo convey this to Craren? What I'm getting at is more of a, I don't want this to go pear-shaped due to
I think
a mismatch of communication.
I think that I don't think that Craren can like intuit what Flo is up to, but you can always ask, like, what are you doing? Like, you know how we normally keep watch. What are you?
I mean, that is also fair.
And then just go along with it.
I'm going to assume that Craren is going to, but really? You want the first watch? Why?
And she will go up to Craren and like explain like she needs to actually sniff these people, and it's kind of like she will like convey the thing and like it's also kind of like and you can see her being a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit awkward to let people see me sniff people. And she will dodge the eyes very badly.
As a means of gathering information, I can see how that can be perceived as unconventional. Yes.
Yes.
You're welcome to take the first shift. Should you need anything,
I will
Wait.
be certain. I will after I've been
And she this whispers very like
after I sniffed them and made sure they were telling the truth of where they came from. I'll make sure to wake you or an up so you can take the watch. I just want to make sure that they're
Yeah,
actually
that's
telling the
okay.
truth.
That's okay.
Good boy.
If things pan out normally,
Mhm.
that is nice. At which point, you do the you thing,
Mhm.
and I'll keep Oren company during that part of the watch. But if you need me for anything, wake me up, okay?
I will. I promise.
Excellent.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So we have a Flo on first watch. We have Craren / Oren / some other constellation for the remainder. It doesn't take too long. As soon as the sun starts setting, the whole area turns dark. You can see just beyond the edge of the hill that you're on because the fire sheds light that far. And
Hey, kitty.
the merchants finish their meals and are rather quick to go to bed. They seem to split up between these 3 tents. If none of you have made a move towards any of them, they will split up with the half-elf in this one, the 2 women in this one, and the human man in this one. And the rest of you were mentioning, well, someone was sleeping in the cart, or doesn't really matter. You go to your various. It's more for my own sake. How do you split out the? What?
Remus would have done his usual, which would have been putting up the tent for him and Romulus to stay in. Just because that's what we do. We probably also would have put a second one up so that Flo, Clara, and Oren can rotate through it as part of their watches.
Yeah.
Assuming Flo's happy sharing with the 2 elves.
Yeah, it's up there. All right. Flo. Give me a perception check.
Is here based okay?
You're using your nose.
Oh.
It's the same, but yeah, you were sniffing.
Sneak.
I mean, as far as clicking buttons, it's the same.
Yes.
That's a dirty 20.
You wait for a while. You wait for the merchants to fall asleep, and when you're decently sure that the rest of the camp is asleep, you start sniffing around. You heading to the human male Dermot's tent first, or?
Yeah.
All right. The dirty 20, you sniff around a bit, moving quietly, and you do get day-old sweat. You get damp, and figure, okay, they were in a cave. Like their clothing has gone damp and then dried and then gone damp and dried again. And you do get a familiar scent of your teacher. It's faint, it's very faint, but you guess that they were probably held like next to each other, not with each other. And the dirty 20, you get the scent of linen, but you also like, okay, they're linen merchants, and weapon oil.
She will grin a little bit, knowing that they kind of lied to Oren. And she will just continue her round.
All right.
And get mostly the same, I guess.
Yeah, it's mostly the same. You get a that same fresh linen kind, linen and ruined clothing. You get that Oren touch to everything because he's fixed the clothing, but there's like an underlying scent of ruined fabrics. As you're stepping into the tent with the 2 women in it, could you please give me a stealth check? Because there's a higher risk of you getting discovered.
I will use my advantage on that.
No, I mean 18 is good.
I don't think a 10 is good.
No, sorry. Yes. Sure. You roll.
Oh, I take the 18.
Okay. Yep. 18. You very nearly trip on one of the ropes for the tent, and then just stop yourself at the last second. You sneak into the tent, and you get basically the same kind of scent. And you poke around a little bit inside the tent, And you get this odd, very odd scent. It's not like it's not the same as with the in the man's tent. From the women you get the same kind of sense that weapon oil is very prominent on the younger of the two. And then you get a scent, like a really sweet scent from the corner of a room, or the room in the tent. Yes, that's how words work. And didn't see it before, but it's like a blue painted jar. It smells very sweet.
Can't you tell what it is?
Stopping and pausing for a moment, you sniff, and it's honey. Like a jar about this big. Blue stripes along it.
Can't you tell why they have it?
Looking around, they don't have much of anything. They barely have their own clothing on them. They managed to, somehow they managed to get tents, and they have bedrolls, and not much else, and this jug in the corner.
So the only thing that's different is that they have a jar of honey in the corner of the room.
Yep.
Do they smell nice of honey?
No.
Okay. Confusing.
And to not confuse Lillith, a microbiologist redeemed a secret menu item for Flo.
So she will like she likes nice smells, so she will like yoink.
Yeah. This is a blue alchemy jug. And it has currently 1 gallon of honey in it.
She can alchemy!
Yes!
Yay!
So yay, thank you so much for that. Before someone starts protesting, honey is expensive.
But yeah, she will like yoink that and continue her round into the last tent.
Yep.
And now I need to feel the urge to cover myself with this sweet, sticky substance. This is a sentence that is now echoing in my head for no reason, and I don't want to do it, and Craren doesn't want to do it, but that's in my head now. Thank you,
All
stupid
right.
brain.
In my defense, or Joe just like, yes, there's a jar of honey in the ladies' tent. I'm like, oh no.
Don't
What
do
is
that.
this?
You're gonna give yourself glycemic shock before you're done. Don't. Just no. Okay, you sneak into the last one with the half elf is sleeping. And in addition to the perception check, give me an no, actually, yeah. Give me another perception check. All right. You lift the flap for the tent and you get inside. You get those same kind of scents, the ruined clothing, the the sword oil, the linen, a lot stronger scent of Flo's teacher. And as you leave the tent, the firelight from the fire spill inside, and you see around his arm, something that glitters in the firelight.
She gets curious.
All right, getting closer to check, or
Is it silver?
you can't really tell in this light. It's metal, some form of metal, like a thin bracelet.
She will try and sneak back in again.
All right, please give me a stealth check.
Ooh.
You
That's hot.
Yeah, you try to sneak back in and your foot gets stuck on the tent pole. And you have a choice to either back out and not take the tent with you, or get a closer look at the bracelet and risk bringing the tent down.
I mean, she done what she came for, so she will back away.
Okay. But yes, they definitely held the scent of Flo's teacher.
Okay, so she will wait a little bit, like think a little bit, like maybe like 2 hours, because she still needs a long rest, so she still needs like 6 hours. So she will go. I think she will make Oren wake up first, since basically they tricked him. So Flo would be like,
question: how long has time passed?
Total from where the where her watched.
Is it 4 hours?
No,
is
it would
not?
It would be a less than 2, because Flo can only keep watch for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because she needs 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So she would have like sniffed everyone, maybe taken like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then basically like I had to watch for like 1 hour and 40 minutes. And then went over to Oren and been like, Oren.
Not today. What? Oh, hi. Morning.
I was wondering if you could take over the watch. I'm starting to get a little bit sleepy, and I did get the sense of things.
Oh.
It's not only linen they're carrying.
No.
I smelled a lot of weapon oil.
Oh.
And that's not normal with linen. I think they're hiding something. I mean, from what I know, linen isn't that expensive compared to weapon oil, and they have very nice clothes.
Yes.
So
okay.
So I just wanted to let you know that, but I did smell my master. As you said it, or my teacher for me.
Understood.
So I don't think they're truthful with us, and I am a little bit concerned about that.
Right.
I'm not lying about at least that my master is there, but I don't know
How
what they're
thorough
really
a
going there for.
search did you manage to do of the tents?
I managed to find this alchemy jar. And it smells really nice.
Alchemy jar?
Yes, it's honey. And one of the
and she points to the tent.
He had something around his arm. I'm not sure what it was. It really caught my eye, but when I tried to sneak back in, I almost made the whole roof went down. And I thought that maybe waking them up is not the greatest idea.
No,
Especially
not waking them up.
Especially after sniffing them.
Right. I think this may require a little bit more investigation on my part. You sleep. I'll see what I
And-
can do.
And she will look at the tent that Craren is in and be very skeptical on going in. And she will look over to the tent with the twins in and being like,
I know that you and Craren are a couple,
Something like that, yes.
so I feel like it's a little bit
Go ahead.
I think I will go over to the twins.
and she kind of like shuffles.
Chicken shit.
So she will basically like, are they sleeping like on each side of the tent?
Most likely, yeah.
So basically, you will see she doesn't have like a roll or something. She will basically like just scooch in between them
A twin
and just like
sandwich.
just curl up in a ball.
No.
And hopefully, throughout the night, someone will take pity on her
She can have two.
if they notice. Or she would just take the ferret and put it on top of her and be like,
No.
All right. So, Oren, what are you up to?
Oren would like to sort of very quietly, I am very quietly while on his watch, wander around the campsite a little, looking for where they might be storing their wares,
Okay.
because he wants to have an investigation through their stuff.
Okay. Give me an investigation or perception check.
I think I'll roll with perception. It's nighttime, so I do not have disadvantage.
No.
Oh, I just rolled in fucking D&D Beyond. I rolled a 22, but I will roll over here. Give me a
No,
second.
it's fine. I can think I can see.
I can,
No,
if you have,
trust
like,
you.
both,
Copy
if you have both the roll 20 and D&D Beyond open, you can still roll on D&D Beyond.
oh, I
And it
did that,
will
but I don't know
open
if I've got them linked. But
Yeah, that's fine.
let me find it.
With the 22, there are still like dead harpies on the ground here. They're starting to smell a little bit. Not too bad. It's relatively cold. You sneak around the area. You don't find any like packs or anything like that, other than like there is like rope bundles. That's what I was looking for have like tying up the tents and for bedrolls and such. But you don't find any what looks like ration packs or anything like that. There's not a whole lot. And 22.
I'm mostly looking for that weapon oil.
Yeah. You don't find any. You don't find any weapon oil around here.
But they smell like it.
Yeah.
Flo said.
Yeah.
But there
Uh,
doesn't seem to be any in camp, so
No.
whatever it was, they may have had it taken from them.
It is very possible. You're not sure. Are you looking
Right.
in the tent or just around the camp?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Let me do this on here rather than there. If I can open my character sheet. There we go. Please be a good roll. That's a 24.
It's a very good roll. Yeah, you you sneak into each of their tents and
I might add he is very ready to cast sleep on anybody that almost wakes up too.
all right. Stepping in one by one, you sneak through their tents, and with the perception check and the stealth together, now that you get a easier way to check these merchants, you find something strange. At first, when you were fixing their clothing, all of them seemed to be like haggard and hunched over and, you know, run down by lack of sleep, lack of cleanliness, in need of new clothes. But as you sneak through their tents, there is, at first you don't really notice it, but there is like a very specific kind of orderliness to their things. The few things they have, like shoes by the door, or the flap of the tent, for example, and things like that. And you sneak through, and in the human male's Dermis possession, as you look through, because 24 is pretty nuts.
It's not a nat 20, but
yes, damn close.
it's close, yeah.
In the sleeve of a shirt you mended, you find a needle blade that's pretty similar to one of yours, just
Yoink.
tucked away. Both the women don't have any weapons on them, but like checking it, and with your training, you can tell that they have calluses from weapon use. Heavy weapons.
Are these a group of assassins?
I'd say with that perception check in your training, probably not, but definitely had some form of weapons training.
Would that be normal for the type of merchants that they seem to be?
No,
And I don't
definitely
mean
not.
club
You're
merchants.
good
I
enough
don't mean club
of
merchants.
a charlatan to know that no. And you
Are these bandits?
you don't really know. You can't really tell. Going through the half-elves tent, you see a similar thing. A stiletto blade in the sleeve.
Yoink.
And that bracelet that Flo was talking about is some form of non-gilded metal, so not gold, brass, or bronze. But you can't tell if it's silver, if it's iron, if it's steel.
Is it also a weapon?
No, it's not. It's just for decoration.
Does it have any markings on it that might show it as a faction of some kind?
From what you can tell, no. It looks like it's there for decoration.
Then he will leave that alone, but he will have disarmed these people.
Yep. Okay.
There's no documents around that might
No.
be forward orders, anything like that.
From what you can tell, if they had any of that, the only things they've brought with them was the jug, the tents, bedrolls, and their concealed weaponry, as if to make it seem like they were people running away from a situation. So,
This is a trap, isn't it?
well, they're asleep among you guys. So I'd say with your roles, with your training, they feel safe with you as a group.
Because they feel that they've gotten one over on us, perhaps.
Perhaps. It's hard to tell from the short interaction you had, but yes, perhaps. But they're pretty good at trying to sell the whatever they're trying to get away with.
Well, he's disarmed them. They're not coming with him and the others on their little hunt, on their little thing. He's not necessarily going to keep their weapons once they leave, but I think for now, just so everyone is safe, he will keep them.
Mhm.
And yeah, what he will do for the rest of his watch after having tossed their tents is he's going to look around the stones here, just for any poisonous mushrooms that he might be able to find. He's not going to leave the area because he's guarding it, but
Yeah.
keeping watch. But while he's keeping watch, he's just going to look for any poisonous fungi.
I'd say it doesn't take you too long to realize that it's in the middle of winter, and you might have to dig. Like, even though there isn't snow on the ground,
Yeah.
you will still have to dig into the ground to get to the mycelium.
He'll give a little bit of a dig here and there, then just half-heartedly for now.
Yeah, let's see. It takes you most of your watch, but you do manage to gather together one dose of something that could maybe not. You're not sure if they would kill someone, but it will make them sick.
Oh, he doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to kill the bandits necessarily. He and not these guys. I mean the bandits. He just wants to make it so they are feeling very poorly when the group goes after them.
Yep.
So yeah, he'll stow that, and then he'll wander over to Craren and very quietly, give him a prod. Just, hey, wake up. Psst.
Hey,
Craren,
asshole.
it's first of all, it's time for your watch. Second of all, I've got a little bit of information for you.
Do
As he
humor
relays,
me.
what he has done,
Mhm.
what he has found, and that he has found one many mushrooms.
Now, do we unalive them now?
I'm not necessarily sure that they haven't been entirely candid with us, but we have not exactly been entirely candid with them either. I've disarmed them. One of us is keeping watch. I would like to give them the opportunity in the morning to explain themselves before we eviscerate them.
Naturally. I'm I'm not at ease with this information for obvious reasons.
I'm also not particularly at ease with this information, but if we went around stabbing everybody just because they weren't completely candid with the people they just met, there would probably not be very many people left alive that we encountered.
True as that may be, but that might also... Yeah. I'm wondering. Nah, let's wait until the morning. I'm not going to.
Yes.
I'll refrain from carving jugglers overnight.
Very well. I will make them aware that they are disarmed in the morning, I suppose.
Very well. You get some rest.
I will. Be careful.
I will.
Yes, suddenly very sleepy elf.
All right.
Sleep
Well,
with
I
one
tried
eye
getting
open.
Jason to roll, but
Always.
so... Crowden, could you roll me a D100, please?
There you go. Whatever 68 is. It's one before insert puns.
All right.
So not quite as nice.
Not quite as nice. Nice. Okay. Karen, as you are taking your watch, the night seems peaceful and stars fill the night sky. Everything seems calm, even with the revelations that Oren has uncovered. And the night, your watch, the last 2 hours, seem to pass quickly, as not a whole lot happens. You do see at some
Crown
point,
is
though.
pondering.
Yep.
They do have pots and pans, right?
Yeah, you guys do, yeah.
Yeah. Just completely going bonkers. Just you know, hour or so before everyone else needs to wake up, just going bang, 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 all hands on deck. I'm not sure he's going to do that, but Crown is contemplating. Is like, yes, how will these guys respond when they find out that not only are they being woken up as if there's some fucking battle alarm, they also don't have weapons. That would amuse Craren.
I mean,
Someone roll me. Someone flip a coin, please.
oh, anyone can flip a coin.
Yeah.
Or roll D4.
Heads and heads, and he will actually do this. It's really just hit or miss whether or not he will storm.
Yep. Hi, Jason.
There you go. These guys will be rudely awoken, including Flo and the twins and essentially Oren.
Yeah, Orange flies up and out of the tent, partially wearing the tent.
As Oren flies out of the tent, partially wearing the tent, you see what looks like a small rat running away from the tent with one of Oren's knitting needles.
Oh no, you don't! You get back here.
And as that happens, from the other 3 tents, the 4 individuals run out standing at attention in a way they did not do the day before. Seemingly ready, and then starting to look. The two men are starting to look for something that they don't have. And I think
Good morning, soldiers.
we're gonna wrap it
Question,
there.
did I manage to catch that bloody rat?
Give me a dexterity save.
I can do that.
So the two rolls on the D100 that I asked for, the first one was a 12. It said
The first one.
well, a microbiologist rolled a 12.
Oh boy.
So a 12 is raccoons or some other rodent come in and eat all your rations. I didn't want to do that to you guys, so the small rodent, in this case a rat, ran off with Oren's knitting needle. Yeah, but you managed to catch him and yourself from tripping over your own tent.
Excellent. So, yeah, he has grabbed this rat by the tail, given it a shake, taken his knitting needle back, and is looking at it just... I should kill you. But I won't. And he's still holding this rat.
Yep.
Because he may have to throw it at someone.
The second one was 68. You have a restful sleep and you recover 1 more hit die than you normally would have. But considering I don't think... and you used more than half your hit die,
Nah.
you all have a long rest instead, even though it got cut short for you guys. You guys can have that. The others don't. Because you cut that one short.
Excellent.
So,
I
yes.
will long rest.
Good
Rest long.
morning, soldiers.
And that is where we're gonna wrap.